Hello everyone, I'm Frank DiMora, the lead of the End Times Research Ministry. And I've written a book called The Last Chronicles of Planet Earth that deals with Bible prophecy and current events. And part of the last day's message that we got from God was the fact that if you were watching, and it is a command by the way, to keep on the watch, that if we were watching, we would see specific signs showing us that the Lord, our Messiah, would be coming back soon. Now, one of these signs had to do with the birds, the fish, and the animals dying. Let me go over to that prophecy for you. And when you go over to my book, which you can download at my website today for free, you'll see in chapter 17 the prophecy about the birds, the fish, and the animals dying. It's listed in Hosea, which is in the Old Testament, chapter 4, verses 1 through 3. It says, "There is no faithfulness, no love, no acknowledgement of God in the land. There is only cursing, lying, and murder, stealing and adultery. They break all bounds, and bloodshed follows bloodshed. Because of this, the land mourns, and all who live in it waste away. The beast of the field," that would be the animals, "the birds of the air, and the fish of the sea are dying." Now, in Revelation chapter 16, verse 3, the Lord Jesus says this, "The second angel poured out his bowl on the sea, and it turned into blood like that of a dead man, and every living thing in the sea died." So there's two prophecies. One that we see from Revelation chapter 16, verse 3, specifically deals, obviously, with the creatures in the water, in the sea. But then we do have the fish in Revelation 16. Now what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to bring you to the updates of what's been happening around the world, and it is incredible. And I gave, not too long ago, about a month ago, I finished a live seminar over at the Trinity Church in Lompoc, California. And in part of that seminar, I gave all of the detailed information about the birds, the fish, and the animals that were dying around the world. It is amazing how many reports there are. Now, since a month ago, I've been, again, collecting the data so that I could show you what's been going on, and it is mind-blowing when you start to look at each report and how many millions of animals, fish, and birds are dying. Now, I'm only going to show you from February the 4th of 2015 to March 16th of 2015. And if you want all of these reports, as I said, you can go into my book and download that book for free. But I'm going to give you a glimpse of what the Lord had shown us and what the Lord had warned us about the birds, the fish, and the animals dying. Now, in this presentation, you may see some video clips of either the birds, the fish, or the animals dying. But for the most part, you're going to see the date that it happened, the nation that the report came from, and then you're going to see either the birds, the fish, or the animals dying. So let's take a look.
A popular spot for tourists and locals could soon be looking different.
Some of the sea lions that sunbathe on San Diego's cliffs and coastline are starving. San Diego 6's Jenny Day joins us live from La Jolla to explain what's going on there. Jenny.
Hey guys, San Diego sea lions are so hungry, they're literally gnawing on rocks. Many are found near death, washed up on our beaches with a belly full of sand and rock because there's literally nothing else for them to eat. Warm ocean water could be sending their prey north and leaving pups to fend for themselves. It's leaving many thin, malnourished, and disease-ridden. Again, warm ocean water may be forcing fish to swim north, making it much harder on sea lions to hunt the little guys like sardines and anchovies. In 2013, more than 1,000 sea lions ended up stranded on California beaches. That's when SeaWorld steps in. This year already, 55 are in rehabilitation.
When the animals first come in, they are lethargic. They're down and out. They're barely responsive in a lot of cases. We do initially have to stabilize them, just provide hydration, provide some nutrition before we can even start to treat them.
Pups this age should weigh about 50 to 60 pounds, but many are coming in at just 15 to 20 pounds. Nearly 1 out of 3 pups born last summer have already died. Now, each pup typically requires about 6 weeks of care, and then if they're healthy enough, they can go right back into the ocean with hopefully a successful second chance. Now, the best thing for the public to do is really just to stay away, because these guys can bite, especially if they are hungry. So if you see a really malnourished sea lion, the best thing to do is just tell the lifeguard, and they'll get in touch with SeaWorld. We're live in La Jolla. Jenny Day, San Diego 6 News.
There was no shortage of volunteers, but there was little they could do. The size of the pilot whales and the sheer number of animals meant it was impossible to get them all back out to sea. They kept them watered just in case they'd survive long enough for high tide to carry them to safety, but 140 of the 198 stranded whales did not survive.
It's kind of heartbreaking a little bit at first, but then you just kind of have to power through and do what you can for them because they need help.
That number may climb tomorrow, because even the whales that did make it into deeper waters may become stranded again.
About half seem to have gone to deeper water, but there was still a good number that they just didn't get enough water under them.
It's a regular occurrence in this part of New Zealand, though not on this scale. The geography of farewell spit on South Island seems to confuse pilot whales who don't appreciate how shallow the water becomes at low tide.
A very large stranding of pilot whales, one of the largest strandings we've had in the last 20 years actually.
And those numbers present an ongoing problem. The carcasses of the whales have to be disposed of. Often they're buried. Much larger species which get stranded and die are sometimes blown up so they can be removed from the beaches. On this occasion, there are so many, they have to be tethered and dragged out to sea, where they will at least provide food for other creatures. Nature can be profoundly beautiful, but it can also be desperately sad. Richard Suchet, Sky News.
Hinihinalang nagkaroon ng fish kill sa Manila Bay. Ayon sa Philippine Coast Guard, nakita nilang palutang-lutang ang mga patay na isda kaninang umaga. Malapit daw ang hinihinalang fish kill sa Manila Yacht Club. Puro mga isdang banak ang nakitang palutang-lutang sa lugar. Iniimbestigahan na raw ito ngayon ng Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources o BFAR.
What started as a few reports of dead trumpeter swans in the Snoqualmie Valley has turned into much more. Dozens of birds are dead, and many more are terminally ill. It's all happening in part of an area near Carnation along the Snoqualmie River. Environmental specialist Gary Chittum has more on what's believed to be a massive case of lead poisoning.
A lone trumpeter swan appears perfectly fine as it floats in the Snoqualmie River side channel, but it's in serious trouble.
The only good news is, it's been warm.
Martha Jordan is going after that swan.
Come here. You are going to walk down this fence line.
Like she has dozens more just like it, since a lead poisoning die-off began late last month.
Probably as close to 50 down here.
Nothing is easy when it comes to collecting dead and dying swans. Today, Jordan is using her specially trained dog to herd a sick swan close enough for her to net it.
Get it. Okay.
The swan has enough strength to fly away.
Yeah, we can fly enough. Bird's really sick. Yeah, there we go.
But its days are numbered.
Even if we caught it today, it will not be surviving. It's just not something you can rehabilitate.
Jordan cannot unpoison the birds, which have apparently eaten small lead shotgun pellets. She can only keep searching for them in hopes of capturing them and humanely putting them down. Each death, each escape by a dying bird takes an emotional toll on Jordan and her team. But there's no time to reflect on that. Even though lead shot was outlawed for hunting waterfowl years ago, many more trumpeters are finding it and dying from it in the Snoqualmie River Valley. Your Carnation, Gary Chittum, King 5 News.
This is March the 12th, 2015.
13,000 chickens have been destroyed in the Netherlands after bird food was found in a farm in the eastern town of Barneveld. The government is yet to identify the strain of the virus. Hundreds of thousands of birds were destroyed after an outbreak last year, costing the Dutch poultry industry 100 million euros.
At a starving scene in Chesapeake, a major fish kill has hundreds washed up on the shore. It's happening near the deep creek section of the city. Local fishermen say it's unlike anything they've seen before. Nathaniel Pulley has details for a story you'll see on 3.
From a distance, the shoreline here in Chesapeake may look normal.
Oh yeah, there's some hollow.
But it's not debris or rocks you see on the sand or through the marsh.
Yeah, that's a big one right there.
Take a closer look.
Yeah, this is nuts.
What Bill and Steve woke up to on this seemingly beautiful Sunday was a surprising problem.
We easily saw 35 fish.
Behind their homes, right along the Gilmerton Canal, dozens of dead fish washed up, floating on their bellies, some completely dried out.
So these fish have been dead for at least 2, 3, 4, 5 days.
Puppy drums, trouts, and even some citation-sized fish have washed up along the shore here. This speckled trout was measured at about 23 inches. It's weighing at about 5 pounds. And the problem they told me gets worse.
Once you go out there, here and out there, there's easily hundreds of them.
So Bill took us to check it out. Right now we're about to take a ride out through the intercoastal waterway to see just how severe the problem is. And there's a lot of fish there, you said, right?
Out here along what they call the coast, dozens grew to hundreds.
So as the tide goes out, the wind blows to the shore, and the tide goes out, they lay there. And they were just riddled out here in the storm.
And fishermen say it's the long, cold winter to blame.
There's a big one right up there. That's fresh.
That plus this Dominion power plant that no longer runs. They called it the hot ditch.
Now that the power plant has ceased operation, shut down, there is no more warm water, there is no more hot ditch.
So the fish aren't surviving in the cold water. So for these guys who were out on the water scouring for fish, they weren't finding much.
Yeah, this is unprecedented.
A fish killed like they've never seen before.
Oh, no, nothing like this. This is the first time we've ever seen it.
The water now also a big draw for gold. Pet for the fish.
Oh yeah, that's a big frenzy for them right there.
Water now also an unpleasant smell. But the main concern for fishermen is what the future will hold.
These are the top-end fish that you would fish for.
Some of the local fishermen tell me their hope is that the fish will somehow adapt to the new temperature pattern of cold water. They say it's not likely the hot water source will be replaced. We tried reaching out to Dominion Power to ask about the plan, but of course one was able to speak to us on this Sunday. We do plan to follow up this week. Live in the Control Room, Daniel Coley for News Channel 3.
So there you have it. And there's going to be more reports, I can guarantee it, because the word of the Lord always comes to pass. this is a crucial warning. Not only is it crucial for the warning itself, but when you see the millions of fish and the animals and the birds that are dying off, we're seeing food depletion. Food that we've eaten is being taken away from us. And we know that these are the birth pangs that Jesus talked about in Mark 13:8. And it's only going to get worse as the birth pangs get stronger and stronger the closer we get to the Lord Jesus Christ. So take to heart the reports that you read today, because sooner or later it's going to affect you one way or another. And the only thing that we could do is pray that we be accounted worthy to escape all the things that are coming to pass and to stand before the Son of Man as He asked us to pray. This is Frank DiMora from the End Times Research Ministry, saying God bless.